Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and you're listening to 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast. What's the thing that they say? It's like a warning for you listeners, for viewers at home. I will be eating hot carrots this episode. If you don't know what hot carrots are, well, you should find out because they're great.
We have them here in California.
They're just like it's just carrots pickled in pickle juice.
I'm going to eat the big one off the top.
You would.
Even though they're your carrots. Yeah, they're pickled spicy
they're
carrots.
Our carrots.
They come with Mexican food, and you can order them Mexican food from Mexican food places. I love them. I make them at home.
We're drinking Freigeist, Geisterzug. It's a German beer. It's a spruce traditional Goza. This again is from Grant from Big Ear Pedals. Man, I am worn out.
It's been a rough day, kind of.
Freigeist is the experimental offshoot of Cologne's revolutionary small brewery, Brostel. Here we strive to break the chains of industrial brewing by reviving and updating Germany's unique historical beer styles. A quirky version of the nearly extinct traditional sour beer of Leipzig, Geisterzug, Ghost, quote, that translates to Ghost Train. Spruced Goza is unusually complex, funky, and full-bodied.
I got this spicy carrot out of my mouth.
How do you feel about this beer, Ryan?
I'm about to try it, Steve.
I thought you had some already.
I haven't yet. I really like the smell.
I can barely smell it, but it smells drinkable. Smells like a thing I would drink.
It's good. It's good. I think I liked the last one a little better. It was good. You got a lot of sediment in yours. You can see it settling.
Oh, I just poured the sediment into it. I like that part.
I'm going to say, as you're eating the spicy carrots, really lean back away from the mic so I don't have to edit out your chewing. Remember the old days of the podcast where we just chew and slurp and crunch on things?
That was the best.
Like 3 weeks ago, were we doing that?
No. Wrong.
What's new, Steve?
Well, I've been selling stuff on Reverb. I sold my 50/50 on Reverb.
Oh, yeah. You got a crap ton of money for that.
Yeah, that was the biggest surprise because I kind of just had it up there for a ridiculous price. I have to say, so I listed
Did the guy haggle with you at all?
Nope. No, he made an offer.
What offer did he make?
$350. I just took it.
What
wasn't going to haggle. $400.
Okay.
Yeah. I wasn't going to haggle.
Does that person, do you think they know that they own a 50/50 that belonged to Steve of 60 Cycle
I have no
fame?
idea. I just sent it. I didn't throw in any stickers. I didn't leave a note. I just sent it. If they're a listener, welcome.
What's the name of your shop right now?
Super Rich Steve.
Nice. You are now after selling out 50/50.
So that was great. I've been selling stuff, and actually, I don't know. We've talked about like reviving. Well, we haven't really talked about. I thought about it, but it's kind of gets mentioned here and there.
Steve has thought about talking to me about this.
Yeah, trying to revive / fully launch Steve's Peeves as a series, even though it feels a little too much like Branton's Rantons at this point.
You know, we've never borrowed from any other podcast, and we're not about to start now.
Yeah. And this was one of the things I was going to talk about. One of the places where my opinion has changed a lot is, okay, one is people who complain about getting lowball offers. And I think I used to be more in the camp of like, oh, you got a lowball offer? Like, oh, that's a bummer. What kind of douche lowballs everybody? And oh, how whatever, right? And then
Are you being sarcastic in that, or are you being sincere?
No, like sincere, like, oh, what a pain in the butt to have to like reject, have to deal with these offers. And then I know on Reverb, like you can there's a thing where it will automatically reject like any offer below like 64% of your asking price or whatever.
I think you can set the percentage so you can make it custom.
Oh, is it? I'm not sure. I didn't look super close.
Okay, so what's your counterpoint on this now?
And then I have also heard from people who go like, yeah, if I have like $100 to spend, I will lowball everything that I'm interested in at $100. Like
that's a bold move.
Until basically I'll just keep like, oh, I want this pedal, $100. Oh, you reject it. Okay, I'm just.
The person says it has $100, and they're like, someone out there who wants it.
Yeah, so if they've got like 5 pedals that they're interested in, and each one of them like is typically sells for like 150, they'll just go $100, rejected, move on to the next one, move on to the next one, etc. Right? I'm like, oh well, that's kind of interesting, but they're like, you know what? 1 out of every 10 times somebody takes $100, and so I win, right? And so I understand that perspective, and I think after selling the pedals that I've sold, which I think I sold like maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 pedals pretty quickly. I don't really care about getting offers, and I don't understand the whole thing
it's
about
not a
like
big deal. It
I
takes
don't
like a
understand
second
the
of
whole
your
thing
time.
about like, oh, this guy sent me an offer that was like unbelievably low. I can't believe it. I'm gonna send them a price that's more than
Like the revenge pricing.
the revenge pricing. Oh,
Yeah.
I had this listed for 100, but you offered me 50, so I'm gonna sell it to you for 110. And it's kind of funny, I guess, like if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But the thing that I realized with Reverb is I get this notification on my phone. I go, oh, that's neat. And I click on it and it brings it up. And then I just say accept or decline or
Yeah.
counter. And I think about this for like 15 seconds. And this entire process takes me 30 seconds. And it's not worth screen grabbing and going on 5 different Facebook groups. I can't believe this lowball offer. I can't believe I can't believe this guy would offer me $100 for my Earthquaker pedal that I have listed for 150. That's only really worth like 125. But anyway, that's besides the point. Like, it's like you spent far more time screen grabbing and posting about
taking your
this thing that happened to
pictures.
you.
And then making the listing, it takes like 10 seconds to accept or decline an offer. I used to get really pissed off when people would just ditch completely on negotiations when it would be a difference of like $5 or $10. But then I realized I'm haggling over $5 or $10 too.
Yeah.
Like I'm making a big deal over it too. It's like if they hit their limit, then they hit their limit. They're trying to, get it at the price that they want it for. And if they're willing to wait or try again with someone else, and like that's just what they're gonna do, I guess. It doesn't matter if you have your stuff priced correctly, it's gonna sell eventually.
Yeah. I will say like I generally price high. I want the offers. I want to know what's another. I have 2 prices in my head. I have the price that I list for, which I guess isn't in my head because it's listed, and I have the price that I want, like my cutoff. So if an offer comes in anywhere at that point or above, like I'm probably going to take it right away. I had one pedal where I got 2 offers I had it listed for, I think 90. I had 2 offers of like $50. I rejected both of them. 2 days later, I got $90.
Yeah.
Like,
you gotta
whatever.
love, that's like the ultimate like moment of just like confirmation of everything in your life is when you post something, you immediately get the lowball offer and you're just like, oh man, who knows if I'll get another offer, but that's way too low. And so you reject it. And then like 3 days later, it sells for your full listing price.
Yeah.
And you're like, hell yeah. And you want to send a screen grab to the first offer and be like, suck on it. This person paid 130 versus the 85 that you offered.
Right. I don't even think it's worth it to like let the list, like I know some people, and I've definitely done this where I get an offer and I just won't respond to it. If I think it's like low, I'm just like,
well, someone's
like, I don't even think that's worth that anymore. Like, I think it's like, that's like, it's almost like you're inviting bad karma.
Something that someone pointed out on the Facebook group like 2 weeks ago, which I had never thought of or had ever had occur to me, is that if you get an offer on Reverb,
yeah,
that's below your asking price, obviously if you're getting an offer, you have 24 hours to sit on it.
Right.
Why wouldn't you sit on it for 23 hours, 22 hours to see if someone buys it at full price or you get a better offer? You don't have to accept an offer the moment it comes in. And that's just something that didn't occur to me for some stupid reason.
Well, I think
for
it's
years of using Reverb and Craigslist.
I think that's part of like the Amazon burn-in of thinking everything through and
that's immediate.
Well, you got an offer, it's got to be immediate, and really like, and the same thing, like my only request is, because I'm doing it through the app, So generally, like during the day, during like standard working hours, if I get an offer that I like, I'll accept it within like 5 minutes. So I always like, to me, I feel like if you make an offer and I accept it within 5 minutes, then you should then you are hopefully in a position to like pay within the hour.
Yeah. Well, that's just something I don't like about Reverb is that people have 72 hours to pay or something ridiculous.
Right.
And it's like, there's nothing worse than like it being sold, but then they haven't paid, so you can't ship it yet. And
Right.
you think, like, if someone doesn't pay in the first like 12 hours, I just assume they're not actually going to buy it.
Right.
Like, it's got to be, they clicked to make an offer and then they disappear for 72 hours. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. That's not reality.
So I don't know. Everyone has different experiences, but like, I think where I'm at right now in my life, like there's a lot more important things to get worked up about. There's even like, I wouldn't even say it's like to get worked up about. Like there's a lot more things to like intentionally like troll people on. There's just
Ain't that the truth?
things I'd rather like mess around with that aren't like, oh, I'm going to wait until 23 hours and 30 minutes to accept this guy's offer or reject it or whatever. Like if I don't like it, just decline.
Yeah.
Or haggle or whatever.
I'm saying you get an offer that's reasonable, but then it's like, you never know if you sit on it for even 12 hours until the next morning.
Yeah.
It might sell for full price. You don't know. But then you're leaving that guy hanging, and by the time that you accept it, they might have changed their mind and they're like, I'm not going to pay for this.
Right. So the other thing I have going is I finally got that 70s Strat, the scalloped one that I picked up a while ago, listed. And you pointed out when I had it over here, like, oh, that the volume knob is wonky, like it doesn't work. So I opened it up and I saw what was wrong with it. It was a really easy fix. But while I was in there, I saw that the bridge and neck position pickups were DiMarzio HS3s, which is the humbucking single that was in the older, like the made in Japan, I think, Malmsteen signature from like the 90s. So basically,
that's pretty slick that those were in there.
Yeah. So basically this guitar has been given like the full Yngwie treatment. So I've got it up on Craigslist right now for like $500. It comes with a pretty sweet case. I got offered you guys in the group have seen it. I got offered a Fender factory special run Ash Telecaster with a peacock pickguard.
It's an awful looking pickguard. It's like a photograph of a peacock on a Telecaster pickguard. Every time I see a peacock, do you know what my mental reaction is?
What is your mental reaction?
I see the little video part from Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, whenever Hera is mentioned, and you see like her eyes and the peacock feathers, and like the camera shot of rushing through the forest, and like the sound of Hera coming, because she's like the ultimate bad guy that you never see in Hercules. I can kind of see the merit to that trade, Steve. The Strat for the Telecaster,
right?
In that you'll probably be able to move the Telecaster faster than a pretty niche modified Mexican Strat.
I emailed the guy back and said and asked if they had the original pickguard. If they did, I think I would have jumped on it, or at least I would have asked. I would have at least been like, well, what kind of case do you have?
Yeah.
Because I don't think my Strat plus the case is equal value to that guitar.
Well, it sounds like you got some you got some decent pickups in there.
I'm not going to swap them out. Those pickups are only like $65 a piece.
Sure, but still, it's better than what comes in a Mexican Strat. And I'm not saying that it bumps up the value like against the trade, but I think it does. I don't know. Maybe it does subtract from the trade a little bit.
Well,
maybe
the stock,
ask the guy if he can throw in a DS1 or something.
The stock pickups in the classic 70s or the 70s reissue, I think, were Tex-Mex.
Oh, really? So they're not bad.
But you know what? No, the stock pickup in the Fender Special Run is the Tex-Mex.
It might not.
So it is an upgraded Telecaster, technical upgrade Telecaster pickup.
I don't know. The Telecaster will probably move faster than that Strat would, because you got to find like like a Yngwie fan who is
Right.
shopping for a budget guitar
Yeah.
in San Diego.
Yeah.
Like that's a small Venn diagram.
Yeah. And I'm wondering like how much
Because
I thought about getting the pickguard.
the moment you scallop a neck, like you really shrink your audience.
Yeah. And I thought about like looking for a replacement pickguard. I don't know what that would
For
cost. I
you
don't
can
know.
get
I don't really
cheap
remember what
Tele
kind of.
pickguards all day long.
Yeah, so I could probably find something. I think those had single ply, but I could be single ply black. But I could be wrong.
That would look sharp
I need
because
to
it's
look
got like a
into it.
maple on ash sort of
Yeah.
look. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really nice looking guitar, and the guy's like, "Oh, this is the best Telecaster I ever played."
I've never played any other
Whatever.
Telecaster.
Yeah, probably.
It's the only Telecaster I've ever played.
The real
Definitely the best.
The real problem is that it's a Telecaster, and so my concern is if I make this trade, then I'm not going to want to sell it.
Yeah.
Maybe,
But it's not like you're adding a guitar to your collection. It's a lateral move.
Yeah, but so I bought a guitar, and I traded that guitar for the Strat.
What did you trade for it? Was it?
Godin
Yeah.
radiator. So yeah, technically I have room, but the idea is that is just to turn this thing into cash.
You should try
money.
to keep flipping this guitar up to till you get a house, like a Lamborghini or boat, and then set it on fire.
boat.
I knew someone who lived in a boat in the 70s, and he said it was the best years of his life, Steve.
I sold a guitar pedal to a guy on a boat. It was weird.
Yeah. The thing I always remember about that story is that he had a diesel lamp in his boat.
He did. All right, we're gonna combo.
The amp,
wait,
the amp was probably worth more than the boat.
You got anything new, Ryan?
My kitchen's almost done. By the time this video airs or this podcast airs, it'll probably be finished. We just have to get the microwave installed and our tile backsplash put in, and then we'll have a fully done kitchen. I've been cooking for a week, and I'm so happy. I was so tired of eating out. So people, all the kitchen heads out there who've been keeping track, it's done. I've got a
All right.
kitchen.
What was the best place and the worst place that you ate out?
Oh man, I feel like there's places that I ate out just out of convenience because they were nearby wherever I was doing, like your Taco Bells and things like that. I was like, I really didn't want to eat this, but hands down,
I would say only count like the worst place if it was like obviously Taco Bell is categorically bad.
Right,
but
you kind of expect it to be bad.
You know what you're getting into.
The place that was the most surprising bad, the most bad for the dollar, flat out was Red Lobster.
Really?
I went to Red Lobster just out of curiosity because I hadn't been in years, and who doesn't like a cheddar bay biscuit? Let's be honest.
You can get those at Costco.
I went to do their never-ending shrimp because I'd never done it. They started advertising it, and I was like,
did they run out of shrimp?
Let's go do it for kicks and giggles. They didn't run out of shrimp. I stopped eating shrimp because I was starting to get grossed out. They had a dish on the menu. I forget what it was called, but it was shrimp that was literally just covered in nacho cheese.
That sounds bad.
It was bad.
Why did you get
and
that?
the service wasn't great, and everything else everyone else got wasn't great. None of the shrimp was good. And it still walked out of there paying like $60-$70 or something stupid. I had to scan all my receipts the other day, and I saw that receipt come up, and like, oh, Red Lobster, that was the worst.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else that was that bad. Like, it just was not good. And the thing that's crazy is that there's another seafood restaurant like across the mall from there that kicks butt. It's super good. And I was sitting there in the other restaurant remembering Red Lobster and thinking, how does Red Lobster stay in business if they're this bad? Is it really just
the wrong? What else? What did the rest of your people order?
I think my
what
wife
did the females order?
got like mussels and like a clam chowder and something else, and someone at the table got kind of like a noodle dish that had seafood in it, and no one was having a great time. It was just kind of like, why are we enduring this? But I ate a ton of great food, but I got very tired of eating out.
believe it.
I need that check to come in from insurance because they covered.
What was
they covered all our money spent beyond what we would normally spend on food.
all right, what was the place that you went to that you were like, now you're like, dude, I'm definitely going, like, that you hadn't gone to before, so we'll call this your best. But really it's the place that you only went to because you were in this situation and you're definitely going back.
Man, I tried a couple sub sandwich places. We have a Jersey Mike's here. We have a Subway here because everyone has like a Subway or two in their town. And then we have a Firehouse Subs. We were doing Jersey Mike's a lot for a while. And then I went over to Firehouse Subs.
We grabbed that for the show once.
For the same amount of money, you get way more meat with Firehouse versus Jersey Mike's. So I was kind of impressed by that, but it was also like, I don't always want a hot sub, and that's all they do there. It's like a
Jersey Mike's?
No, Firehouse.
Firehouse, yeah.
It's all toasted subs. I've been really into eating at The Habit, which is a Southern California burger chain.
I don't think I can have it anymore.
Really? You're done with The Habit? Here's what I did. I switched from the burger to the chicken sandwich.
I haven't had the chicken sandwich there. I used to go there with some of my coworkers, and like, definitely was the burger that I got. Like, I had one, and it just like,
it sticks with you.
Something about it was like,
it's a gut bomb.
There's certain foods that I eat. It wasn't even like that. There's certain foods that I eat where once they reach a certain level of like saltiness,
sure,
it is like so off for the rest of the day. And it's like a specific.
It is a sodium bomb.
It's a specific kind of thing too, because it's like I'll eat pizza when pizza's usually pretty high in sodium.
Pizza kind of wrecks me.
But I keep coming back to it. But like
as a dog returns to its vomit.
Diner burgers. I had
to get biblical on you guys.
Like everything about diner burgers is just.
Sure.
I don't know.
But the Habit that's here in town is right next to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I'm never going back to Chick-fil-A for a chicken sandwich. I like the Habit Burgers chicken sandwich way better. So that's me speaking my piece. And also Chick-fil-A is kind of expensive for what you get.
Yeah.
And Habit is expensive too, but I feel like you get a lot more for the same money.
We were going to the Habit because I don't know why I said it like that.
Should probably get back to gear.
There was like
soon.
this coupon thing where like you could like it was like stand up for the kids kind of.
I think I did that. I've got the coupon in my wallet.
So it's like you buy it and then you donate like $2 to this charity, and the next time you go, like you get this coupon for like a half off burger or something.
Yeah.
And so what you do is every time you go during this promotion is you just keep donating like a couple bucks because
you keep getting a burger.
You get the burger, you get the discount burger, you donate a couple bucks, you're still like coming out like $2 ahead.
Right.
Like every time. Or you upgrade to like a milkshake and then you
that's the other thing. The milkshakes at Habit are kind of good. They have a chocolate malt too.
A friend of mine referred to their ranch as Crack Ranch.
I haven't tried their ranch. I'll give it a try. Let's get back to guitar stuff. We haven't even started the regular part of the episode yet, and we're like 25 minutes in.
People want to know about your kitchen.
I know.
That's this kitchen tangential.
Yeah. I can't remember any other like chain restaurants I went to that were impressive.
All right.
I used the opportunity to visit a lot of like San Diego places that you wouldn't be able to like try other places.
This has got to be the worst video.
I know, right? People don't care about this. Also, watching us shove carrots.
No, that was the part I meant. You want the last one?
No, you go for it, dude.
Yes.
All right, so first ad.
Yeah, this was sent in. This part of the ad was sent in by Casey Babcock.
It's a double ender. We got 2 ads on this ad.
It's never mind.
Did I set you up for a dirty joke?
Yeah.
That you're not going to take?
Nope. This is an autographed electric guitar and laminated photo. Damn. By Ted Nugent, the Nuge. Comes with a guitar bag as well. Make a reasonable offer, but just know these guitars autographed by Ted Nugent sell for between $500 and $3,000 on eBay, and this includes an autographed photo and case. May consider trades. What do you have? This guitar will be worth a lot of money when Ted Nugent passes away.
That's what I bet this guy got the signature in person at a Ted Nugent concert.
Shut up.
And I bet he looked at Nuge and he was like, this is going to be worth a lot of money when you die. And Ted was like, yeah, it is. Because I'm into myself.
I don't think that's the way he would respond to that saying. I think he would like probably go on a rant.
He'd probably just scream Wango Tango and then like go climb up something.
Is that him, Wango Tango?
Yeah.
I thought that was Sammy Hagar.
No, I'm pretty sure that's the Nuge. Okay, I'll
I really
check it
don't
out.
know. The only thing I know about the Nuge is Cat Scratch Fever. The other side of this ad was sent by
It's Ted Nugent, Wango Tango.
oh dang.
I mean, it sounds like
Oh,
something.
I'm thinking of Cabo Wabo.
Yeah,
or
I mean, it's
whatever.
kind of the same thing. They could open restaurants and put them right next to each other. Name them those things.
So this one was posted by Josh Marmon, who says apparently Toby Keith's signature is what it takes to make a made in Mexico telly worth $1,800.
Jeez Louise. At least it's a better guitar than the Ted Nugent one. The Ted Nugent one is like a weird branded California.
Yeah.
Is what I'm reading on there.
Yeah.
It's like a really cheap Strat knockoff looking thing.
There is no way that Ted Nugent autographed guitar that is a no-name brand like this
No.
is going for $3,000.
It's worth whatever his signature would be worth on any surface. It's not
Right.
worth that signature compounded by the guitar. The guitar is not a score multiplier for the signature. It just happens to be the service that the signature is on, which probably makes it not worth very much.
Here's one of this guitar. It has autographed photo authentication certificate, sold for $200.
I mean, to be fair, that's probably way more than that guitar's worth. It's probably like a $75 guitar.
And this is probably like the same quality of guitar.
Let me see the signature on that one, the one that sold. I
Um,
want to see how good it is.
it's on the pick guard.
What? Oh, you know what? The signature looks way different.
It does look way different. And actually,
There's no hologram on this one either. The one that you pulled up that sold has a hologram on it.
if you even look at the photograph that comes with this one that in the ad, that autograph on the photo does not look like the autograph on the guitar.
That was something I was going to comment on. This signature on the guitar in the ad is that signature is probably the cleanest, most legible signature I've ever seen on a guitar in my life.
But the thing is sorry, I'm far away from the mic. The autograph on this pick guard that I'm looking at looks like the one in the picture.
Right. And look at how he's got this perfect little crucifix at the end of his signature on this
Here's
ad here.
here's another Ted Nugent signed guitar for $600.
So do you think this is a fake signature, or do you think he just really like sat down and like, I'm going to get this one clean? It's hard to imagine Ted Nugent sitting down and be like, you know what, I'm going to do a really good job on my signature this time. I just imagine him just being like, ah, and then running away. And then shooting something.
I think.
And then saying something awful on camera.
Wow. I'm kind of.
Also, there's a broken string on this.
How dare they?
Look at that high E string all wobbly like that.
Whatever.
The Nuge wouldn't play that guitar with a broken string like that.
I'm leaning kind of more towards fake.
It does. It looks like a bad fake, but if there's another one out there that's the same brand of guitar, it makes me wonder if he buys like 10 packs of this cheap guitar and signs them at concerts.
Well, it's the one that I showed you isn't the same brand.
Oh.
But it's a similar like budget brand.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. How do you think it compares to the...
But then I'm looking at the Friends of NRA. This is on eBay.
Of
Friends
course.
of the NRA Ted Nugent signed guitar. And that signature is similar, but not quite the same. It's so hard to say. So hard
like
to
someone
say.
faked his signature, but just couldn't... Like they could like write his name out sloppy like that, but they're just such... sticklers for penmanship, they couldn't do it. They're like, I've got to make this legible.
So the thing that actually is kind of like my hang up on this is the triple line underneath the signature.
Yeah.
I'm seeing ones where the loop for the T is a little weird.
Also, the hard crucifix nature of the T on there, like, if he doesn't do that on other signatures, which I have not checked at all, I've done zero research. If he doesn't do that hard crucifix T, that's someone else like telegraphing their own stuff into this. Is Ted Nugent a Christian? I know he's super conservative, but I don't think he's a Christian.
I have no perspective on that.
Because it is clearly like you see that hard crucifix, right?
I think this is fake.
I think it's fake too.
I literally cannot find another example of this
Type of signature?
Ted Nugent autograph that looks anything like this, that has like the lines underneath, that has the loop that's like, he does loop his T, but not like that, or his T on the front.
Right.
But not like that. And all of the T's I'm seeing on the back actually have a loop, and this one is just like you said, it's like a cross. I mean, I guess this one's like the T is almost like that, but it's not quite as
like
rigid.
this T is such a cross that it looks like a Christian bumper sticker. Like that's just the reality.
I mean,
of
this
it.
one's almost in that ballpark too.
No,
I think it's
no,
close.
not even close.
It's kind of
not with a T. I mean, there's a bigger loop on there, but like this signature is so tight it almost looks like a font.
Yeah,
It's way too legible.
No, here's a record that's signed. I think that T at the end could be like a thing that he's done.
Oh yeah, he's got the crucifix there. I don't know. Maybe he's just so erratic and so unpredictable that some of his signatures are nice and some are.
Either way,
I mean, it doesn't matter to us. We're not gonna buy this.
This person is saying between 500 and 3,000 on eBay.
I'm gonna err on the side of 175.
Yeah, I would say if you really are all about the Nuge, like maybe you go 200 on this, because this guitar is not worth more than like 125.
Here's what I'm gonna say: you love Ted Nugent so much, buy a $75 guitar and write his name on there yourself. It can be in your own handwriting. And when people ask, did he sign that? And you're like, no, I just like Ted Nugent, so I wrote his name on my guitar.
Yeah, this is just.
What do you think of it compared to the Toby Keith? I'm infinitely less familiar with Toby Keith versus Ted Nugent, and I'm not super familiar with Ted Nugent.
Well, I like Toby Keith's signature a lot more.
Both of them are in the same place with the same vertical orientation that I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, Toby Keith.
And I gotta say, if you're gonna sign a guitar, celebrity guitarist, get it on the pick guard. Come on.
I think Toby Keith was politically voting Democrat a lot longer than Ted Nugent probably was. I think he's much more patriotic now than he used to be.
Toby Keith?
Toby Keith is now probably I don't know, his most famous song might be at this point like Red Solo Cup, maybe.
I'm super not familiar with him. I don't know.
The song that like broke him out was a song called Should Have Been a Cowboy, and then he proceeded for like the back half of his career doing everything he could to
Not
establish bro country as a genre.
Oh, okay.
I would say that he is like the progenitor of bro country.
There's a Scrabble word.
I don't want to say he invented it, but he definitely.
Do you think his signature will turn a $400 guitar into an $1,800 guitar?
I don't, but I see. At least this is like a nice guitar.
Well, nicer. I mean, this is a player's guitar. You could take this guitar and go play at any gig that you could use a Telecaster in. You know.
Yeah.
It's a Mexican Tele. I mean, what could go wrong?
Toby,
other than like paying $1,800 for it.
Right. I don't know. I like
his signature there. I like the big swoop out on that. Is that a T?
I believe that is.
But like, I would never be
T.
able to tell you that whose signature that is because it's not written clearly. And
You can kind of like make out the Keith on the back end. So here's an idea. Here's a thing. So this is his 2000. So
to me, it looks like it says Ole K. Ole K.
In his career in the 90s, which started in 1993,
There we go.
I
Wikipedia.
think it looks like he released one song with an alcohol reference in the title called "Does That Blue Moon Ever Shine on You," which I think is both a double reference to like blue moon,
Right, a rare event.
and also like a neon moon in a bar sign.
Sure.
In the 2000s, he released a song called "Beer for My Horses" with Willie Nelson, which was followed by another song called "I Love This Bar." The next year, he released "Whiskey Girl." The year after that, he released a song called "Honky Tonk U," as in Honky Tonk University, followed by "Get Drunk and Be Somebody."
Wait, Honky Tonk University?
Yeah.
That should be a movie. I'm not going to watch it, but it should be a movie.
I would watch it while my daughter is watching Moana at 11 o'clock at night, and I'm just waiting for her to go to sleep.
You got to get her a new movie. You've been.
There's no other movie she wants to watch. It's fine. I just watch Netflix and chill by myself.
I don't know if you're using that phrase the way you think you're using it.
In 2007, he released "Get My Drink On."
I get it. He's got a niche.
In 2011, he released "Red Solo Cup," followed by a song called "Beers Ago," followed by a song that maybe you wouldn't.
Beers Ago is kind of a clever title.
Followed by a song that you wouldn't. This is a.
You turned me into a fan. I like his music now.
That's maybe a little. You couldn't do this now, or it would be a different song called "I Like Girls That Drink Beer." Which was followed by a song called "Hope on the Rocks," which was followed by a song called "Drinks After Work."
I feel like you could turn this into a game where you or a name generator where you can automatically generate Toby Keith song titles.
In 2014, he released a song just called "Drunk Americans," which I don't know what the content of that song is. By it, I imagine it was really just a song about his fans.
Oh my gosh. I got nothing left to say.
Nope, I'm done.
Should we move on to the first topic?
Yes. Are we only at the first call?
Yes. This is going to be a long episode. Thanks to
Toby Keith.
Toby Keith historian over here. Gosh, I hope
I just like Toby Keith, the beginning of his career, he had a lot of promise as I guess a country artist who was kind of interesting, and then in the late 90s moving into the 2000s, he just, like I said, he became the party, he became
Sure.
I don't know if Kenny Chesney is the Jimmy Buffett of country music. Toby Keith is Jimmy Buffett's hard rock cousin.
Okay. All right. Mark Schwartz wants to know pedal storage options that aren't shelves or discombobulated piles and boxes. This is going to be a short topic. I don't know if you can see it here in the video, but the IKEA Alex drawer, I think that's what it is. It's got 6 pull-out drawers. It's like a half shelf sort of situation. I think new, they're $115. In the top 3 shelves, you can fit basically any pedal ever with good clearance over it. In the bottom 3 shelves, you can fit any pedal ever in its box. You open up that bottom box there, bottom shelf, Steve, and pull out the biggest box. This box from Greenchild that I'm holding right now for the Valve Reaper, which looks like a thick box, fits in there perfectly. Doesn't fit in the top drawer, but those bottom drawers are a little deeper, and you can fit pedals in box in them. If you go watch...
Toby Keith approves.
Oh my gosh, made in USA. If you go watch Josh Scott's JHS videos, he has a bunch of these in the background.
Is that where you got the idea?
No.
You came up with
I got the idea because
I've
got one of these next to my desk in my home office.
Ah.
And I was like, you know what? I think this is like the perfect size for pedals, and it is. Like, I'm betting you in one of those you could store 100 pedals. I'm betting, like regular size, like Boss pedals. That's me guessing that you can fit like 15 to 20 in each shelf.
This is the Peach Galaxy from Almanac Beer Company.
It's a double beer episode.
Also courtesy of Grant.
Because we're in the first topic. It's going to be a long one.
Could be a triple beer episode because there's only one left.
That's my quick answer. I don't have any other answers than that. This is the perfect furniture for storing pedals. This IKEA Alex
What about
shelf.
suitcases? Would you just, because your suitcases aren't doing anything when you're not traveling, would you just put pedals in suitcases?
It's harder to get in and out of them.
True.
Like if you're using them for storage and quick access, this is it in my opinion. I haven't run into another piece of furniture that does it as well. I haven't seen another piece of furniture where I've been like, yeah, that's the one. I mean, you could get various different kinds of shelves, and I've seen people who like convert like, you know, gun cabinets and things like that to be
well, that's
pedal
kind of
display
like,
sorts of things.
That's kind of both from the Flippin' Flippers and Blake from the Tone Mob.
Yeah.
Both
which is great for display.
Have display cases. They're not gun cabinets, but they're glass display cabinets.
This is great for display, but if you're just doing like storage and you want them to stay dust free and stuff like that, I can't think of a better solution. Even for them, they feel like they're expensive when you're buying them, like $115 or $100 or something like that. But like I said, you can store like 100 pedals in them.
Hey, Ryan. I keep all my distortion pedals in gun cases and gun safes because they're weapons of mass musical destruction.
Oh my gosh. You're really on this country kick. Well, I guess we did start talking. We started out with talking about the Nuge. What is this? Our like super like down home conservative episode?
Is the Nuge? The Nuge isn't country.
He appeals to that audience.
I don't actually know anybody who likes him.
Hunters like him. They're like, this is my music. I like the Nuge, and it's just because they have something in common. You know, I'll be honest. I actually like a couple Ted Nugent songs.
I mean, I will say,
it kind of hits this rowdy 1970s like kind of high energy thing and he's got some fun songs.
Right. I don't actually know any of his music.
He's got a song
aside from Cat Scratch Fever.
He's got a song that starts with like 3 minutes of feedback, and I listened to it.
All 3 minutes.
In the previous episode, I said that I don't like friggin' Beatles songs, but I like the Ted Nugent song that's got 3 minutes of feedback at the beginning.
What's wrong with you?
I'm a garbage person. That's what's wrong with me. I'm a garbage person.
Speaking of garbage people. Oh, that's bad. You remember when that happened on our radio?
Yeah.
All right. These people actually aren't garbage people. This episode is brought to you by Chase Bliss Audio. Joel Corte is one of the nicest people
he is
in the planet.
Like exact opposite of a garbage person. On the planet, in the planet, over the planet, wherever he happens to be, in orientation to the planet, you want Chase Bliss pedals. They're going to give you creative options you didn't even know existed. They can do stuff that you wouldn't even believe. If you like to flick switches and turn knobs and come up with presets and have sounds that you can't get out of any other pedal, look no further than Chase Bliss.
If you want an EQ pedal that's also like maybe a phaser.
Yes, like this crazy modulation. Like also maybe like a tremolo.
You should get the Condor.
Yeah. The Condor is great.
Anyway, lots of stuff. Go check out Chase Bliss Audio. Go watch all of Ryan's demos. Ryan has demoed every Chase Bliss pedal except for the Spectre, right?
I haven't done the Brothers.
I thought you did do the Brothers.
I didn't do the Brothers. I should probably ask Joel to send me one.
All of them except the Brothers and the Spectre. The Spectre, right? That's the purple one. Mm-hmm. The flange.
I'm sure there's a couple others that I haven't hit.
You did the Gravitas.
He's got some that he hasn't made for a while.
All right.
I can't remember.
I like to
but
think
every
that
single
you've done them all.
I'll say this. I sold 15 pedals in the last week. I've never sold a Chase Bliss pedal. I keep them all.
So chaseblissaudio.com. Go check it out right now. If you buy something, tell them that Steve sent you.
Hey, what about me?
Forget this guy. Joel's gonna be like, "Who the hell's Steve?" What? Tell him Super Rich Steve sent you.
Let's get into this next ad.
This episode is also sponsored by Sinusoid. We're going to talk about a couple Sinusoid things.
I'm hoping to start seeing, guys, next time you're in a public restroom, tag that wall Super Rich Steve. I'm hoping to run into it someday.
Oh my gosh.
I want to believe that Super Rich Steve is out there tagging restrooms.
This
Super Rich Steve would pay people to tag restroom walls for him.
That's true.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Sinusoid Pro Audio Couture. Go on their website. Go look for the Sinusoid panhandle giving cable. Go check that out. It's a white Van Dam with Neutrik ends. All proceeds beyond the cost of materials and shipping go to the, I believe, North Florida Red Cross for
That means
Hurricane Michael relief efforts.
That means they're donating their labor.
Yes.
They are not paying their employees
Labor and
to make
overhead.
these. They are doing it out of the kindness of their heart because they have an employee that is personally connected to the area that is affected.
Yeah.
This is them literally giving of themselves to provide for relief efforts.
After you buy that cable, go buy a Sinusoid Signature Slate cable. That's their flagship cable, top of the line, super sticky. It's not super sticky. It's got like a little bit of a tackified surface. It's really great for stage applications. It really like sits where you want it if that's what you want.
I like them for home studio stuff. I use them with my amps because as it lays on the floor, it's not going to slide around. I can kind of like quickly lay it in a path and know that it's not going to deviate from that path.
There you go.
And gives me, on the fly organization as I'm setting up more complicated rigs around here.
So go check that out. Sinusoid Pro Audio, sinusoid.com. Are they still thanksforfriendship.com?
Probably. I think they might also have sinusoidadoptapet.com.
All right.
But by the way, Steve, they make cables.
Oh, and smiles.
All right, let's get into the next ad.
This ad was sent by Ad Zant, Michael Van Zant. This is a DOD Grind IT amplifier. Vintage 40-watt amp. Sounds excellent and works like it should. A few tears.
Were you laughing at the 40-watt part or the vintage part?
The vintage part, but also the 40-watt part. A few tears and dings, but only superficial. These sell online for $150.
First of all, no, they don't.
Yeah, I couldn't find that anywhere.
I had never seen one of these in person or online, and my first instinct when I saw it is that it's a rebadged crate something, but it's not. It's a unique DOD amp. I had no idea DOD ever made amps. And I'm going to guess that this is they were made like 97, 98, something like that, because this amp...
I think I saw somewhere that they were made from like 1990 to 2000, but that seems really long.
That's too early, I think, because it incorporates two circuits from two different pedals into this.
The grind?
The grind and the IT, the integrated tube.
Oh, those are two different pedals.
Right.
Okay.
But they came out at the same time.
So it was like one in overdrive and the other one's a distortion?
Basically, they were both called distortions, but one was an overdrive. Ooh. Like the integrated tube was like trying to sound like a tube overdrive, even though it wasn't. And then the grind is what it sounds like. It was a grindy distortion.
This looks like an 8-inch speaker.
Yeah, it's a practice amp.
This is what, like probably a 15-watt amp, I think.
He says it's 40, but I bet he's reading the wrong number off the back.
40 is the input wattage from the back.
This has got to be a 15-watt practice amp.
How much would you pay for this piece of DOD history?
If I saw it at the swap meet, I might offer 15.
That's lower than I thought. I was thinking like 30.
Really?
15?
It's not like this is an amp I can use for anything. I would be buying it as a curiosity.
Maybe it's got those studio tones that you really want.
So
no.
Neither of those pedals are like people don't go for them.
Right.
People aren't like, I got to get the integrated tube. People generally say like, oh, it didn't deliver on what it says it's going to deliver. And like I said, the grind is exactly what it sounds like. It's a grindy, grungy, like hair metal-y sort of like approximation of a crazy sound. Yeah, I don't think this amp is going to be worth anything to anyone other than being a curiosity for the most hardcore of DOD collectors.
Right.
And honestly, for how it looks, I bet you could get a cleaner version of it for cheaper, because it does look a little roughed up. I just thought it was interesting, like the price aside, because the price is obviously ridiculous. The price aside, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'd never seen this before. I didn't even know DOD ventured into amps at all.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
If DOD made an amp today, which they won't because they're kind of being dissolved,
what would it
every day a little bit more?
What circuits would it have in it?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
That's where I'm going.
Okay.
If DOD made an amp right now, or made an amp a year and a half ago when they were, continuing to be a great company,
it
was
would
coming out
have
with awesome products.
I think it would have a gunslinger in it.
That's a lot of knobs for an amp to throw in there.
And a was it the Bone Crusher? It would have those two.
Interesting.
What do you think? What would you put in it?
I feel like the smart move for DOD, if they were going to make an amp,
Okay.
is to go fully clean, solid state pedal platform.
Okay.
With, if there's any, I mean, this is very tailored to me, if they were going to put any drive in it at all, just a 250.
I mean, I'm picking two pedals because this has two pedals.
Sure. Well, how about this? That's what I was about to say. To make it very utilitarian, but also a tone machine, a 250 and a bifet preamp. And then a tone section after that, like a 3-band EQ and a master volume. And like an effects loop.
Why? Okay, so here's what they would do. DOD amp, but there's no preamp. There's just a 250 circuit.
Okay.
You can choose between a 250 and you have 3 channels. So channel 1 clean is just actually the bifet preamp circuit.
Sure.
Channel 2 drive 250 circuit. Channel 3 gunslinger.
It sounds
No,
like
sorry. Channel 3 gunslinger. Channel 4
Gonkulator.
All of this running into a DOD 10-band graphical EQ.
I'm liking this amp.
Effects loop. But in the middle of the effects loop,
Rubber neck.
is a rubber neck.
Yeah.
That's your amp. But so
we went too far, Steve. Science has gone too far on this one.
All of these circuits all together. So in order to produce the amp, this is a $400 amp because it's got all of these circuits in it, but it's still only a 15-watt practice amp into an 8-inch speaker.
I'm being dead serious. If DOD, as a company as it was even a year ago, came out with a well done solid state pedal platform amp, I'm talking like they're hitting like the solid state level that like a Quilter delivers. Mm-hmm. They came out with a pedal platform amp that maybe had one little like pedal sort of hitting there, like a 250 or something like that. I probably would have been all over it.
Ooh,
I probably would have been super hot into that.
so hot.
So hot with some smart like effects loops options built into it. I'm thinking like a little powerful amp. It could be like 50 watts, really nice solid state power section, and just some basic controls, pedal platform, call it done. I would have been on it.
That's a nice little dream.
It is a nice little dream. It's never going to happen because DOD is being dissolved for some god awful reason. So anyways,
well, DOD is not. Are they actually being dissolved, or they just fire their entire creative team?
is there a difference?
Ooh.
They might.
We didn't talk about it.
They might continue to like manufacture everything in their line, and they might come out with new stuff in the future. But the path that they were on with the team that they had, I don't believe that they're going to be able to beat that with the moves that they made.
All right, quick take, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
what is TC doing?
Yeah, Tor just left. I mean, this episode came out a week and a half after that. I don't know. I actually don't know the level of Tor's involvement in TC as far as developing stuff.
I mean, he was definitely the face of TC.
Yeah, and it's not like he's taking the entire team with him. That's the difference. Like DOD lost their entire team.
Very true, yeah.
Like everyone involved. That's ludicrous. Tor's just, I'm assuming, moving on to greener pastures, and someone else will step in and do what he was doing.
Yeah, I laid down that sweet segue into this next topic.
Cool, let's do it.
But then I blew it. This is a comic that Jeffrey T. Hatcher. Is it Jeffrey T. Hatcher or Jeffrey Thatcher? And you just accidentally hit spacebar.
No, it's T. Hatcher.
Posted.
Unless it's not.
This is a comic from pbfcomics.com, Perry Bible Fellowship.
When you're done listening to this podcast, go to the Perry Bible Fellowship.
Go to the very beginning. Read every single one.
Every single comic. Like, he is like the Gary Larson of the late 2000s. Like, everything is genius. There's no duds. Brilliant comic strip. And it's all online for free. And it's got fantastic art in it. And we're going to pop another beer. Hell yeah. This one's got a cork. But this is a fun comic. It's obviously guitar related.
Yeah, it says it's called a dream catcher. It's this woman. And
build the scene for us, Steve.
It's this woman, and she's talking to a guy in a leather jacket, like a deerskin jacket.
This has a little bit of a dankness to it. This beer.
Really a dankness. He says it's called a dream catcher. It gets rid of bad dreams. So in the next panel, it's don't give me bad pour. It's the dream catcher's hanging in this room. This boy is playing guitar. I actually like the level of detail in this room.
Oh yeah,
it's very detailed.
It hits it. Like, he's got a Pink Floyd poster up. He's got
a Zeppelin poster.
He's got a poster that just says rock.
He's got two Beatles posters.
He's got Yellow Submarine and is that
Sgt. Pepper's.
Sgt. Pepper's.
What's the banana on his? Who is that?
That's the Yellow Submarine, dude.
No, the banana on the bed.
Oh, it's probably the Dandy Warhols.
Oh, okay. And then the Rolling Stones. There's a Rolling Stones.
Or it's shoot. It was in my head, then it's gone. Never mind. Someone will correct us.
The problem is I can visualize that, and then there's actually a Weezer album. That blue one is Weezer's blue album.
Great.
So anyway,
I want that rock poster.
And then in the it's not just a rock poster,
it's a rock
star.
Oh man!
And then in the third panel, you can see that the Dreamcatcher has worked.
Yes, the guitar is in the trash. His room is cleaned up and everything's organized. And the young man is wearing a shirt and tie and glasses and reading a law book with his arm resting on a finance book.
Yeah.
And the mother is watching quite with a pleased look on her face from the doorway, happy with her work, getting rid of her son's bad dreams. Yeah. And the I guess the angle of this topic is it a bad dream to like have the dream of playing music? Is it a bad aspiration for young people? Like, would you, like, your daughter's getting older, she's getting close to teens. You think you would discourage her from a life of music?
We're trying to get her to learn violin right now. She has a violin.
Violin's different though. She's not gonna...
Violin's not music.
It's music, but it's like no one's like, you know what? I'm gonna like skip out on college and skip out on having like a productive life and hit the road playing violin.
I don't know, man.
Violin is like something you do to get you into college.
No, fencing is a thing that you do to get yourself into college.
Swords.
Yeah. Actually, fencing is apparently like the easiest sport to get a scholarship in.
Really?
Yeah, because there's like so few.
How come no one told me that when I was young? I would have learned a sword fight.
There's so few.
I'm a big target though. I bet fencers are little fast guys.
That means you have like super long reach.
I do have the long reach. I got long arms. Good point, Steve. I'm gonna start learning swords.
Yeah, touche, Ryan.
Touche. There you go. On point.
No, I was on like I think
This is it, guys. We're gonna be a sword podcast.
somebody did ask if we weren't a gear podcast, what kind of podcast would we be?
Swords.
Swords. Anyway, the fencing thing was talked about on another podcast. I don't know, man. I think
Like if you could go back in time, would you set yourself straight and be like, don't do music? Is a bad path to go down. Like just like focus on law and finance, or swords.
or swords.
Hey, Steve. Here's the danger of swords. If you try to push a kid into swords, you run the risk of them getting into fantasy weapons versus fencing weapons.
Oh my gosh.
And that's like,
You don't want your kid to be a LARPer.
yeah, that's like the
That's the
opposite.
That's not
direction you
just
want
a
them to
bad
go.
dream. That's a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly.
I think as far as bad dreams go,
This beer's growing on me.
I think that there are generally broad issues. I'm just saying words.
You're trying to lead into a point.
I think if your kid's like grounded enough, like you think about like,
I'm going to ground him.
oh my gosh. No, you're not. That's not how gentle parenting works. No, man.
I'm not up on that stuff. My wife is up on it. I just parent the way that it comes to me. So I get in trouble sometimes.
Every day.
Not every day.
Every other day.
I'm a good parent. It doesn't.
I didn't say you were a bad
Steve
parent.
says I'm a bad parent. I'd say that because you're floundering so much.
I think as long
I'd say that you have to manage your kids' like expectations of music,
Right.
and like because every single time I've started a band or joined a band or started a new music project, I have those couple of days where I have stars in my eyes. I'm like, this could be it.
Yeah.
This could really go
And then you get over it
somewhere.
and you just realize that this is really just for fun.
It's a hobby. For most people, it should be a hobby. And I think like a lot of things, a lot of people do get stars in their eyes permanently and throw their entire life into it, and it doesn't really go anywhere. And I'd say to those people, it's okay to walk away
Yeah.
and go explore other options, but still, it doesn't mean you have to quit. You can keep playing music. Keep it a hobby. If you really love doing it, you'll keep doing it while you do other work, and while you do other things in your life.
Well, and I think that's where I was talking about grounding it. And I think, and it's hard because obviously like you talk to, or you read like books about a lot of artists who finally made it. And,
Sure.
They
everyone who made it was trying to make it.
Well, they were trying to make it. They generally were like trying for like, even if they got a record deal like right away, like they were trying for ever
Right.
to do it, like regardless of what they're.
What's what I'm leading to. Like, if you ask those people for advice, they'd say like, "Oh, just keep trying; it'll come." Because it came to
Yeah.
me. And it's like it doesn't come to everyone.
Right, and it's it's just like it's a hard measurement, and I don't want to say like, oh, you're not going to do it, or you are going to do it, or whatever. Like you're going to do what you got to do. But I think there is like a level of like you need to understand how far you can extend yourself, and at what point like it's time to do something
Right.
different. And that doesn't mean you stop playing music. That just means
No.
like you said, like you
Did your parents ever have a conversation with you when you were young? Like, don't try to make a job out of this. Like, don't try to be a professional musician.
I mean, I don't know if there was that specific conversation, but I definitely got told that I was failing at college because I was playing too much of that rock and roll music. It's all your fault, Ryan.
Were you still in college when we started playing?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, yeah, you were for a while.
I was like 20.
Yeah.
Was I 20? When did we start?
Because that's how we got into Sun God, because you were still in college. Yeah, that's right.
We started in like 03, I think. So I was like
if you
19.
playing in a band was causing you to get bad grades.
Wasn't.
Yeah, because we weren't spending that much time doing stuff.
So much time.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't think my family ever was worried about me trying to become a professional musician because like I was already like focused in on my college path as far as like going to college to do graphic design, which is also already a thing. Like, oh, he wants to be an artist. Great.
Right.
This kid's
Right.
never going to make money playing music and making pictures all day.
Yeah. In my case, like I always thought it was funny, like that. Oh, like, oh, you're gonna play music and this whatever, like because like one of my aunts, I think, was like a semi-professional musician for a little bit, and I got my first guitar from my grandmother, so it was just something that like just skipped one. Like everyone in my everyone on my dad's side of the family is musical except for my dad.
You know what's missing from this comic strip that I just realized?
What's that?
There should be a fourth panel with this kid in his middle ages with just PRSs everywhere. Just expensive guitars on the wall because he's going to be a lawyer. He's going to get into finance. This kid is going to have money for the good stuff. Gosh. Like that's what's missing from this comic. Like, and that's what we're saying too. It's like, do your real life stuff, get your real life job so you can like have the good stuff in your hobby and don't quit your hobby, but be realistic about it.
Yeah.
And like, it's hard to say this cause it's like the wrong person might hear it and run with it. But like, if you have the chops to be a professional musician, you probably kind of know it.
Yeah.
And you probably have like a career path figured out. Like, here's how I can actually make money being a musician versus like my band's going to get discovered.
Well, and I think that's part of that being realistic where it's like, I think even if you are a small time band that has a shot, like you have an inkling for that in your local scene,
right? Of
like, wow, this is actually like doing pretty well.
If you're making if you're making money, you're making money. And I'm not talking like, oh, you made $200 at a gig and you had to split it 3 ways. But if you're making money that pays bills,
dude, I think if you're even making like, depending on where you are in your musical career, if you're pulling like $200 and splitting it 3 ways, you're doing pretty good.
No, you're doing all right. But
I don't think we ever played a single show where we made $200.
That's not bill paying money.
No, it's not. Well, it is if you can do that like 6 times a month.
Yeah, but then you're on tour.
Oh wait, no, it's not. That's only $360.
You're not going to play 6 times a month in your hometown and get that money.
If you're in a cover band, you can. Anyway,
if you're in a cover band, you have a residency probably at some venue that's once a week. You play
4 times a month.
You play.
And you're making $1,000 on that one night.
Yeah, you play Thursdays.
You're taking part of the tab, taking part of the
the
bar.
I mean, in different cities.
Is that how that works?
Different,
I don't really know.
Different cities, have different, scenes that can support musicians in different ways. Like here in San Diego, it would be impossible.
Yeah.
To make a real living playing local venues. Like it's just not practical at all. So last ad and then we'll get out of here. It's a long episode.
Yeah, this ad is Smokin Guitar.
This is a Smokin Guitar.
It's from,
do your best the
Jack
Mask impersonation, Steve.
I don't have the Mask impersonation.
Smokin.
The Mask.
That's how he does it. Smokin.
The Mask impersonation is like this. Socialism is the way of the future. To think anything else is just barbaric.
What is that from?
That's what Jim Carrey posts on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's Jim Carrey. That's not the Mask.
If you do not believe in climate change, then you are a fool, a Luddite. Those are Jim Carrey quotes that I made up.
You made them up?
Well, they're like semi-accurate. Like
they're in the spirit of Jim Carrey.
They're in the spirit of 2018 Jim Carrey. This is a custom guitar with Epiphone SG body. This is $200 in Atlanta.
Jim Carrey is invited to give me all his money any moment he wishes, and I will fairly distribute it.
Custom Marlboro guitar. Custom guitar with Epiphone SG body, Fender Squire neck with humbucker pickups. Great look and great sound.
And when he says great look, do you think that's subjective or objective?
Oh, it's definitely objective.
He said it with great confidence. I don't see it in the screen grab. I know you screen grabbed this one, Steve. Was there a part in the copy that said whether or not this was played in a smoke-free environment?
There's not. I have the complete description.
Okay. By the way, this is an SG that's completely wrapped in Marlboro cigarette packets.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's
I probably
at
could have
least
delivered
visually.
that joke a lot better.
Yeah.
I
Good
kind
job.
of killed my own joke.
We chose this just so you could deliver that joke.
Yeah. Hey, Mom, Dad, I'm going to be a professional comedian. That's going to be my new thing.
Do you think this person would accept cartons of cigarettes
They-
instead?
yes, they definitely would. I don't know how much cigarettes cost now, but 15 years ago when I worked in a grocery store, a carton was a lot of money.
I imagine they're more money
Way
now.
more now, probably. But I bet this person would trade this guitar for 3 cartons of cigarettes.
3 cartons.
In
If you know-
today's carton money.
If you know how much a carton of cigarette is worth,
And
don't tell us. I don't really
we don't care. We don't care. Do you ever want to smoke, Steve? Did you ever want to smoke cigarettes?
A carton of cigarettes is $90.
Whoa!
For Marlboro Gold 100s.
Whoa!
Is that more or less than you thought?
More. I was thinking it was gonna be like $45.
I don't know, man.
$90 for a carton?
That's what I found.
That's
on,
the like the long box that has like 20 boxes in it or something like that.
Box of Marlboro 100s. It does not show you pricing on. Hold on.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Cigarettes
are expensive.
That's an expensive hobby.
Smoking
time.
cigarettes. So I don't really understand it, but I have coworkers who smoke. I have a few friends who smoke. I have only ever. I think I've smoked cigarettes once.
I did it a couple times with a teenager.
And that was, and then I don't know. I haven't smoked much of anything ever.
I like a cigar every now and then. I'll never do it by myself. It's like like I'm hanging out with a bunch of dudes for like a bachelor party or something like that. I'll smoke a cigar and enjoy it. I don't enjoy like having an ashtray taste in my mouth the next day.
Yeah, and so that's the thing is like the people I know who smoke are like anytime that I've been like in a situation where I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I'll like smoke tonight or whatever. They've been like social situations. So
right.
When like we get all the guys together and like there's a cigar that gets passed around or whatever, right? Yeah, I've never been like stressed out and been like, oh man, I'm super stressed out. I should start smoking. And I think I don't know. I mean, I guess people probably don't start smoking because they're like trying to self-medicate through smoking.
No,
I think people get into it because other people around them are smoking. And
Maybe
it's
like
like,
the
oh
smell or
man, you
taste
want to
of it.
smoke? And you're like, well, I guess like I'm already out here like at the office and people are, at the
You know why people start
the
smoking?
smoking cylinder.
People start smoking so that they can adorn their guitars with the wrappers. That's why.
I'm pretty sure this is like wallpaper or something.
I don't know. Some of them look like they're spaced uneven. Like, look at that gap there and there. I think these are actual wrappers.
I'm trying to see. Oh yeah, I see where. I see.
Here's something that bums me out.
Yeah.
Is like whenever you hear people talking about how you could save money quickly, like, oh, if only you did this, you could afford to go on vacation because you'd be saving $400 a month. Oh, if you stopped drinking a cup of coffee every morning, or that second cup of coffee at lunch or whatever, that second trip to Starbucks, you could afford to go to France. I don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
I don't smoke cigarettes. I know I drank 3 beers in this recording session today, but I legitimately don't drink that often at home on my own. So it's like if I stopped drinking beer altogether, I'd probably save $20 a month.
You think it's that low?
Yeah.
Dang. What's wrong with me?
So like, I don't have any like big vices that I can cut out that'll give me that vacation.
Right.
What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to start drinking coffee so I can quit it so I can afford things?
Well, and even like a lot of those things, like, you know, it's functional.
People could
They
could be like, hey, if you stop eating food, then you could afford to go to on vacation.
Yeah. If you only ate if you only bought the $5 salad cartons from Vons and that's all you ate,
that's more money than I spend on food now. To feed myself one.
No, like a $5 salad carton. Like if you ate a pound of salad, you probably wouldn't want to eat again.
I'd have diarrhea.
Like you'd just be like, oh God, that took so long.
I could probably figure out a super cheap meal plan that would save me a couple $100s a month.
Lots of people.
But then I wouldn't have any enjoyment in my life.
Yeah, you could switch.
Do I really want to live a life without condiments?
You could switch to. You could buy like dry. You could go to Costco. You could buy a 25-pound bag of rice, a 25-pound bag.
Steve has figured this out.
Pinto beans.
Yeah,
and probably for $50, feed yourself for like a week.
$50 still sounds like a lot.
$50
for rice and pinto beans.
That's every meal.
I know, but it still sounds like more expensive than it would be.
Maybe it lasts longer. I don't know. The point is, I guarantee you probably.
I still got to feed the rest of my family.
No, they're all going to eat it too.
We're all going to eat rice and pinto beans.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could probably feed your entire family
right
on that 50 pounds of food. That's probably only going to actually cost. I don't know if it's $50. It might only be $40. I don't know.
That's $10.
Yeah, it's $10 less.
$10 a week is $520 a year, Steve.
I mean, if you switch to just eating top ramen for dinner every night,
I'd die. There's no nutrition
top ramen,
there.
Yeah, top ramen.
It's just all carbs and salt.
Top ramen is chock full of protein.
It is?
Per serving, yeah. It's
How much protein?
It's got more protein in it than peanut butter.
How much protein is in top ramen?
I think it's like 7 grams.
No.
Yeah.
Pull up numbers right now. I'm going to continue talking about this guitar. Do we know the model of this guitar other than it being an Epiphone SG?
No.
I mean, it's a 2-knobber, 2 humbucker.
And it's got a Fender Squire neck.
What?
Yeah.
No, there's no way.
Yeah. That's what it says. It definitely looks like a Fender neck heel.
I wish I could see the headstock. That's the craziest thing about this guitar, if that's true.
Yeah.
This guitar is worth $100. I have no basis for that.
They're asking $200. You would pay $100.
I would not pay $100 for this. Unless I saw that neck and was really wowed by it. That's ridiculous.
Here you go, man. Ramen noodles with seasoning is 5 grams, but that's one serving. A package has 2 servings, 10 grams of protein.
A package of ramen does not have 2 servings. That's 1 serving, guys.
But this is the serving size.
I know.
Is half of a package.
So you're saying it's 8 to 10 grams of protein.
I'm saying if you use the entire seasoning packet, it's 10 grams of protein. And one 25-cent thing,
but it would be
ramen.
66% of your sodium in one day. So you're gonna do 10.
That's all you eat.
You're gonna do 10 grams of protein. That's
the rest of your protein comes from green beans.
That's gonna kill the rest of your sodium for the rest of the day.
So you don't need any more sodium.
That's
what
I'm saying.
Sodium's
you can't eat any more sodium after you eat this. You can eat half a pack. You can eat 1.5 packs of ramen a day, and you'll have 15 grams of protein.
Do you want to go to France? Do you want to go to France?
I can't go to France if I'm dead from eating nothing but ramen. And I am not being snobby about ramen. I enjoy a cheap ramen every now and then.
Think about this too.
I get the creamy chicken ramen.
The 2 servings of this, or like the whole noodle block of this, is 380 calories. Think of all the weight you're going to lose. You're going to lose weight.
You want me to go?
You're going to go to France.
You want me to go on the ramen diet? You know, if I throw an egg into the ramen, then it's a little bit more protein.
Throw an egg, throw a scoop of peanut butter. You're basically...
I don't know why you hate peanut butter so much.
I hate peanut butter.
This is like a super off topic, like inside baseball sort of thing. Steve and I had a conversation about peanut butter with a mutual friend. He thinks peanut butter is BS. I love peanut butter.
I never said peanut butter is BS.
Steve,
she said that I said peanut butter is BS.
Because you told her that peanut butter
I did not
BS.
tell her. I told her peanut butter is overrated.
Peanut butter is not overrated. Peanut butter is delicious. And
This is what I think of when I think. This is what I visualize when I think of just eating peanut butter off of a spoon.
well, you just sold me.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. This song was sent in by Tan's Guitar, who is a guy named Joel. He's in a band called The Maneuver, which is kind of a great band name.
That is a great band
We're going to
name.
play this song called The Way We Were. He says, in this one, I used a Gibson Flying V with classic 57 pickups through a Wampler Pinnacle distortion for a classic Marshall sound into my Trainer Custom Special 50. During the solo, I turned on an EHX Micro Qtron. Why did I say micro like that?
Why did you say turned like that?
Turned.
I turned.
An MXR EVH Phase 90, an Ibanez TS9, a TC Spark Mini, and a Boss DD20. In parentheses, he says, I had to stomp on a lot of switches very quickly.
I wonder how he powered all of those. You think he had a 9-volt battery?
Yeah, just 9 volts.
Do you think it was like taped
No,
to
I
the
think
pedal?
I think he taped like 50 AA batteries together end to end.
You know, if you open up a 9-volt battery, there's like 6 AAA batteries in
Yeah.
there. It's true.
It's true.
Open it up. Check it out.
Don't do it.
No, do it.
All right.
Next time you have a dead 9-volt battery, open it up and check it out.
Don't blow yourself up because
there are triple A's inside there. You need a AAA battery, it'll do it.
They had a broken keyboard. I bought a broken keyboard.
I don't know what he's talking about.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
See ya.
In the sky, there is an angel who's walking by my room again. In the sky, there is a reason that I know why she died again. And I'm sad that she had to go, but I'm glad that I'm in the know that one day we'll be back again the way we were. In the sky, there is a diamond who's shining down upon my head. In the sky, there is a purpose for me until I'm dead. And when I am, please don't cry for me, 'cause I'll be happy if tears are never shed. 'Cause one day we'll be back again the way we were. Yeah, the way we were. The way we were. Yeah, the way we were. 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 Yeah, the way we were. The way we were. Way we were. Way the way we were. The way we were. The way we were. Yeah, the way we were. again the way we were.